Hello, my name is Caleb Smith with the Rocket Miner newspaper, here to provide an update for September 2nd, 2020. Today, the Rock Springs Police Department requested the public's help in finding a missing teenager. Aysha Pathan, who is a 14-year-old from Rock Springs, has been reported as a runaway. Police say that she was last seen on the morning of Friday, August 28th. She is described as being 5 foot tall, weighing 95 pounds, and having brown eyes and brown hair. She was last reported to be wearing a tie-dye t-shirt, jeans, and white sneakers. You can find a picture of her at the Rock Springs Police Department Facebook page, or at rocketminer.com, where the story is also posted. Those with information are encouraged to contact Officer Nicole Rubley at 307-352-1575, or leave a message at the RSPD Facebook page. Tipsters may remain anonymous if they do so wish. On Tuesday night, after our print and video deadlines, we had the regularly scheduled City Council meeting in Rock Springs. A process that has come up repeatedly did so again last night, namely the process that the city uses to request, review, and select companies to provide professional services. The City of Rock Springs has received millions of dollars to be able to renovate a portion of the Bitter Creek. The idea is to make improvements so that residents and other businesses in a certain portion of the city are no longer considered to be in a historical floodplain. Back in July, a city committee that was formed from Rock Springs staff selected JFC Engineering Surveyors as a company to provide professional services on this contract. On July 21st, the Rock Springs City Council voted 6-1 against a $520,000 contract for professional services. At the time, City Council members said that they had questions about the request for proposals process. And just a quick note here. RFP, that's different than just bids, a bidding process. That's primarily just looking at what is the total amount. City staff have explained that the request for proposals is seeking to find the company with the best plan, the best presentation. They want the most creative, most talented, most able to put it all together team. And then at the end, the price is put in. Typically, the committee formed of city staff, ranked the assignments, ranked the company's proposals. The top one is then presented to the city council. If the city council accepts it, then city staff, contact the company and seek to negotiate the final cost within the range provided. Like I said, in this case, the city council members said that they wanted to know why JFC had been selected, especially since they said that they understood that its proposal was about $250,000 more than one of the other ones. They also just questioned whether or not there was a potential for conflict of interest. It's an open fact that Rock Springs Mayor Tim Como is the president of JFC. He and other members of city staff say that there's been no efforts to influence the decision-making process, noting that this is something that's a process that's been employed for years. On another side of the issue, there are some city council members, such as Councilman Rob Zotti, who contest that even if that's true in this case, the process as it's currently set up has the potential for influence, or it has the potential for the appearance. And right now, even if everything is done above board, they'll still always have some people who can raise this question as it's currently set up. One of the arguments being that even if the mayor never talks to the people making the selection, those who are putting forward the recommendations could consciously or unconsciously be seeking to curry favor or to try to push the envelope here. Generally speaking, nobody's saying that's happening in this case, but the way that the RFP process is currently set up, it exposes the city council to these questions. Some suggestions have been made, such as adding members of the city council to the RFP committee, which has been done with the most recently issued proposals, though those have currently been placed on hold. There's recommendations say adding more people from the community who are not part of the city, having an outside company, completely new set of outsiders look at RFPs when they are involving a member of the council who has a declared conflict of interest. And one thing that Mayor Como said last night is that he could just withdraw the bid, and so that JFC wouldn't be submitting proposals on this project at all. On Tuesday night, after some strong language and lots of frustration expressed on multiple sides, Mayor Tim Como, Rob Zotti, and members of the city staff said they'll meet later this week to discuss possible changes to the process that would hopefully address the concerns that have been raised. That process will be brought back to the city council. Hopefully we'll be able to find a process that doesn't matter what the company is, whether it's JFC, whether it's Vaughn's, whether it's other potential companies that may or may have connections to current members of the city council, or in the future people who aren't on the council yet but later will be elected and would have a similar conflict, that we'll be able to address these in a way so the process is fair and that we protect the reputation of city staff and the decision makers, the elected officials in the city. We'll keep you posted as this develops. Also today, I know we've crammed, but we've still got a bit more to throw at you, and it's all sports, and it's stuff to get excited about. Sweetwater County School District Number 2 outlined rules for fall sports and announced that in some cases there just won't be as many tickets available to the public for certain events. Right now, Wyoming school districts are still operating under state health orders that limit the number of events, indoor and outdoor. Right now, the outdoor guideline is half the capacity of a facility, up to 1,000 people, and indoor events are limited to half of a facility's capability, or up to 250 maximum. Looking at our what we have to work with, such as at Green River High School and Lincoln Middle School, that just means that potentially there'll be cases where there'll be more interest than there are actually tickets and seats available. Starting with the Green River High School football, volleyball, and swimming and diving teams. It looks like that those will be areas where there won't necessarily be general admittance tickets sold to the public. The school district noted that these are high demand cases. Let's just start with your regular football team. To begin with, you have your home and your visiting teams and the people supporting them. You typically have the marching band out in the field. You have the cheerleaders. You have the dance squad. That's a lot of people who are laying it all out in the field, performing to the peak of their capabilities. All those students are going to be granted passes for up to 3 family members. And, well, all the home students will be. Visiting teams will be limited to 2 passes per student. When you factor all those in, that doesn't really leave any room for members of the general public or family members beyond the passes that are distributed. That's a real bummer for, I know, a lot of families. I know that, I've been at plenty of football games where the family crowd certainly numbered a lot more than 3. The school district notes that our goal is to ensure that we continue to have our kids participate in fall, winter, and spring sports and activities, and that parents will be able to attend these events. This is another case where the community is being asked to sacrifice just a little bit more to do what we think is best for the kids, for the students. Now, like I said, those limitations I previously mentioned, those are for high school football, volleyball, and swimming. Right now, when it comes to Green River High School golf, tennis, and cross country, school officials say that they don't, at this time, they don't expect that there'll be any similar limitations, just because that's a smaller turnout of participants and fans. Same for Lincoln Middle School football, cross country, and volleyball. And when it comes to general rules, they're expecting that families will sit together. They don't really want elementary school kids dropped off and just running around the field of arts nearby than field of play. They want them to be supervised, and they want everybody sitting as a unit. They also note that face coverings will be required when 6 feet of social distancing cannot be maintained. Now, depending on what the layout is, you may be able to have your spot in the bleachers and you have plenty of space. The school district says when sitting with your family and or maintaining social distancing, no face coverings will be required. General other guidelines are what we've seen elsewhere. They say that if you feel sick or you have symptoms of the coronavirus, don't attend. And like I said, please show up and have a face mask prepared to be put on. That's something they will be checking for. For those who want to keep up with as many games as possible, but for one reason or another may not be able to make it to the game, the school district announced that Green River High School home football games and volleyball games, this is all levels, freshman, sophomore, junior, varsity, and varsity, all these games will be live streamed at nfhsnetwork.com. Similarly, 7th and 8th grade Lincoln Middle School football games will also be live streamed at the nfhsnetwork.com website. One last note, we've previously reported that tickets have to be purchased in advance in Sweetwater County School District Number 2 when it comes to varsity football games and volleyball. Today, Rock Springs High School Facebook page, or Rock Springs High School Authentic, or facebook.com/RSHS Tigers, posted the links to be able to purchase tickets to either Friday's home football game opener or Saturday's volleyball tournament that the Tigers are both hosting. Those links, you can go through it. I myself did the process earlier today. You can ask for up to 2 tickets per request. They note that you'll still have to, this is just kind of registering your spot. When you get to the game, you will have to provide a photo ID as well as pay for the tickets at the gate. We've previously reported, and the school district stressed that masks will be required at all times, indoor and at both the indoor and the outdoor events, Rock Springs, football and volleyball. No food will be allowed in the facility, and there will be no concessions. You can bring a water bottle. And after the games, spectators are expected to leave immediately. No gathering, congregating after the games. Like I said, you can find those links at the RSHS Tigers, Rock Springs High School Facebook page. The tickets must be purchased or must be reserved by 4 p.m. Thursday, though the school district notes that the deadline might be earlier if they do reach the maximum of 1,000 tickets for football or 250 tickets reserved for volleyball. Like I said, that's following state orders. The current state orders are in place through at least September 15th. We'll be watching the governor's office and state health officer to see if there's a change on that. Anyway, this is Caleb Smith with the Rocket Miner newspaper, wishing you a good day and a safe tomorrow. Bye.